Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. I am coming to you live from Sun Valley, Idaho. Okay, so that's not true. Obviously, I'm not in Idaho. I'm still in Studio B in Nashville. But by the time you see this, I will be in Sun Valley, Idaho, which I never heard of until just now. And it's very difficult to get to, I can tell you that. But let me get started with the show. So, hey, welcome to the Be Your Own Hero Show. This is Tuesday, May 31st. This is the 17th episode of season 4 of the Be Your Own Hero Show. HERO is an acronym. It means helping everyone reaps optimism. In other words, helping others helps you. It's a reciprocal action. Try it. You will definitely like it. I'm your host. I'm sekouwrites. I'm a professional creative. I do a lot of different things. I'm an author, I'm a journalist, I'm a speaker, I'm a playwright. I'm also the creator of the Hero Ministry movement, which is my effort to uplift and inspire people in general and the unhoused community in specific. So welcome. I'm glad you're here. Join me here Monday through Friday, 9:45 a.m. Eastern, 8:45 a.m. Central, 7:45 a.m. Mountain Time to watch me talk about my journey of becoming my own hero in general, and specifically my own financial hero. If this show feeds you in any way, please like, please comment, most of all, please share, and shout out to New Thought Media Network for allowing me the space and opportunity to talk about my journey of being my own hero. I'm pointing at the logo, the New Thought Media Network, right there in the corner. Check them out at N as in Nancy, T as in Thomas, and media.org, and you can see all their offerings there. Okay, quick disclaimer, I am not a personal trainer nor my financial advisor, so take what I say with a grain of salt and do your own due diligence. Mostly do your own due diligence. Okay, so as I was saying, when you see this, I will be in Sun Valley, Idaho. I don't know what the schedule is going to be, so I figured let me just go ahead and do this show now. Yeah, so I'm doing the show now in advance. But as you know, if you've been watching the show, May 31st is a big day for me. That is my 365th day of running every single day. So it's my 1-year anniversary of the Sekou Hero Charity Run. That means I've been running every single day, at least a mile a day, every consecutive day for the past 365 days in a row. That means I've been doing it for a whole year. Oh, I got to give myself some fireworks. I got to find the fireworks. Here we go. That means I've been doing it for a whole year. So just to close the loop, I have a client for whom I do live stream producing and video editing. They are based in Sun Valley, Idaho, and I am there in town on a retreat. It's a company retreat for all of the employees. So we've been flown in from New York, Nashville, Mississippi, Alabama, so many different places because we are scattered all over the globe. So all over the globe, not just the United States. So it'd be interesting to meet everyone in person for the first time, and I may have a report back about that later. The name of the company is Kahila. If you want to check them out, Kahilla, kahila.com. You can check them out. Okay, so many things to talk about. Well, really just one thing to talk about, but I've got so much to say about my 365th day. So let me say this. Harriet Cole, you may be familiar with Harriet Cole. She's famous. She's published 7 books. I've worked with her, and she's been a mentor to me many years of my professional life. Anyway, she also works with Kahila, and she interviewed me for Kahila, for their platform, about my run stories. And she asked me the top 5 things that I've learned in the process of running every day for the past 365 days now. And so that video content right now is only available on kahila.com. I don't think you can see it, but I just wanted to mention it, that there's this, this energy around it. And also because she did that, because we did that interview, it got me thinking about what are the main things I've learned? Because I've learned so much. There's been so many lessons. It's hard to distill it down to just 5. But I did for the purpose of the show. And since I did that, I've been thinking of other things that I've learned. And so, by the way, I will find out from Kahila if I can air that content here on the New Thought Media Network. And if so, you'll be able to check it out. In the meantime, I've discovered that I have even more lessons that I've learned that I think might even be more poignant than the ones that I said on that show. So, all that said, let's get to the regular stuff. So, I guess I just talked about the Sekou Hero Charity Run. But officially, the Sekou Hero Charity Run today is day 365. I've been doing this for 365 days in a row. I've run more than 1,050 miles. I've run including Sun Valley, Idaho, I've run in 12 different cities. I don't even know how many states. And I've been able to generate funds for 11 different nonprofits. 11 different nonprofits, and been able to raise more than $7,000. So all of that is truly fulfilling. I might as well announce now. Should I announce it now? Yeah, let's announce it now. So I'm not going to stop running. I know some people have been asking. I'm not going to stop running. There's so many benefits that I'm getting from running. I'm not ready to stop. So that said, I have a June goal. For those of you who have been on this journey from the beginning, you know that June is my birthday month. And so a year ago, I started this by saying for the month of June, I was going to run at least 1 mile a day for that month. I only intended to run 30 miles. I ended up with 62. I ended up doubling what I set out as my goal. So anyway, this year, I'm doing a new challenge starting tomorrow. And I guess I will announce that challenge tomorrow. But just know that there is a new, not only challenge, but a new nonprofit and a very specific goal. And so I'll announce all of that tomorrow on June 1st, but I'm very excited about it. This is a new mission for the Hero Nation, a new charity fundraising goal with a very big kicker at the end. All right, so that'll be tomorrow. Anyway, today, if all things have gone according to plan, I have run 3.65 miles in Sun Valley, Idaho. See the symbolism, 3.65 on the 365th day? You like that, right? You like that? Yeah. And I don't know what the weather conditions are going to be. It's supposedly very cold in Idaho, in Sun Valley, Idaho, like 40 degrees and snowing. But I know that I've run in snow before, so I know that's not going to stop me. That's not going to stop me. I'm going to get it done. And then some of the people on the Kahila team have offered to run with me. So that'll be interesting. It'll be a group run. Will that be the first group run? No. There's been some other group runs. Well, actually, I've done some other runs like the half marathon that involve other people. But this might be the first group run that's like specifically for me. Yeah, so stay tuned. Stay tuned. Watch my social media. See if I post any photos of me running with a group of people today. Okay, so I guess I'm just free flowing it. Let me see if I can get back on track. Let me see. All right, dice roll challenge. Here we go. So yesterday's number was $4, and today's number is, drum roll please, 3. Today's number is 3. I'm going to write that down. Why didn't you all tell me my collar was outside my jacket? Y'all don't love me. Y'all don't love me. Got me up here looking crazy. All right, there we go. So Monday was $4. Tuesday was $3. Just keeping track so that we can add that up at the end of the week. All right, just a reminder, what you're doing with this money is taking it out of circulation so that you can invest it. So that you can invest it, because investing is the way to financial freedom. Okay, morning zen. Morning zen. So as you know, if you've been watching the show, I've been talking about this book, How to Solve All Your Money Problems Forever by Victor Bach. And in the process of talking about his book, I was introduced to another book he wrote. What's the title? The title is The 5 Greatest Secrets of Poker and Life, How to Win at Whatever You Do. How to Win at Whatever You Do, right? So I've been reading that, and I already talked about the synergy of having gone to the Change for Change gala that was created by Project Love Strong, their first annual fundraiser, where I won my first humanitarian award that you can't see because it's clear, but just trust me, it's right there. It's right where I'm pointing. But anyway, that's where I won my, not won, was awarded, was presented with my first humanitarian award. And they had gambling there, they play gambling with fake money. And that introduced me to, I guess it didn't introduce me to, it reintroduced me to gambling, but from the perspective of someone with a wealth and growth mindset. So that's affected how I view it. Anyway, let me read something from the book. This is his perspective on poker, which I find interesting. So here we go. Poker is not a game of luck. I'm going to repeat that already. Poker is not a game of luck. This is perhaps one of the most common misperceptions. I'm sorry, let's start over. Poker is not a game of luck. This is perhaps the most common misconception, and it is dead wrong. Luck averages out. Over time, all players receive the same percentage of good hands and bad hands. The difference is what players do with those hands. A good player will maximize the amount won with good hands and minimize the amount lost with bad hands. I'm just going to read that last part again. A good player will maximize the amount won with good hands and minimize the amount lost with bad hands. Now, this is almost word for word what they say about trading. In trading financial instruments like stock trading, you're going to lose. It's inevitable. That's what they say. You're going to lose. But if you're a trader, you learn to minimize your losses and maximize your wins. And your wins exceed your losses. And that's how you win at trading. And it's also how you win in life, apparently. But in addition to that, it's a cool way to look at the world around you. If you assume, yeah, I want to take some hits, there's going to be some losses. But when those losses occur, I will move expeditiously to minimizing those losses. And when I have wins, I will move to maximize those wins. That's a nice proactive way to think about life. And it's a way to get more done in the same amount of time. So that said, I want to read this other thing. The key to success in poker and in life is the ability to make good decisions. With that ability, you will win whatever challenges you face. One more time for emphasis and the people on the back row. The key to success in poker and in life is the ability to make good decisions. With that ability, you will win whatever challenges you face. All right, it doesn't get any more clear than that. I want to add something though. What I've learned is that all of us tend to think of ourselves as good decision makers. That's what we tend to do. We tend to think that our decisions are sound without really diving into whether or not our decisions are sound. I discovered that for myself, and as I've discovered it for myself, I see it in others around me. It happens all the time. You just assume that your decision is the best decision. And that's a dangerous way to play the game of life and poker. You've got to gather all the information you can. What I found helpful for me is when I make a decision about something in recent times is to think, okay, that's the wrong decision. And let me figure out why it's the wrong decision. Like I play devil's advocate against myself to force me to think about other perspectives and invite in other pieces of information. And there's always other pieces of information. Matter of fact, quick sidebar, in neuro-linguistic programming, often abbreviated to NLP, they say that if you can only think of one solution, you're a robot. That's a paraphrasing, but that's basically it. If you can only think of one solution, you're a robot. So don't be a robot. Think outside the box, as the phrase goes. Think broader. Think about the situation from multiple angles. Don't just think, all right, this happened and this is the only solution. So push past your knee-jerk solution and look for other solutions. Okay, I went off on a tangent, but that's what I have to say about Morning Zen. That was my reading for today, reading from this book about poker. And also, sidebar, I downloaded an app for blackjack, and I started playing it last night just to try to get a feel for it, because it seems like both blackjack and poker will be similar enough to the mindset needed for investing and trading that it'll be helpful to me and also to you. Okay, so moving on to abundance. So let's do this affirmation. And now we've got two affirmations, right? We've got the regular affirmation and the car affirmation. So here's the regular affirmation. I am so happy and grateful to be a multi-millionaire in every area of my life. I am so happy and grateful to be a multi-millionaire in every area of my life. Okay? And also, you got to insert your car affirmation here. So I still have the elevator music. I do. I still have the commercial. It's 9 seconds. Is 9 seconds enough? 9 seconds might not be enough. I'll give you 19 seconds to recite your car affirmation twice. If you haven't done it yet, do it now. It has to be present tense and positive. It has to be your dream car, not the car you're willing to accept. It has to include your name. So, I, Sekou, now own a Lexus RS 500, yellow. That was specific because I was actually remembering. I was remembering when I test drove that specific car. And so that helps too. Visualize it. Have a memory of it. Call it up. So I'm going to let you do that for the next 19 seconds and go. Oh, I've got a sidebar. I've got a great sidebar. So I was watching the trailer with you just now, and I saw the little kid at the end with his arms up. I love that photo. And that reminded me that I have some new photos of kids wearing hero hoodies that I need to post. And that reminded me of the big news. The big news. I can't believe I forgot to say this earlier. Okay, it finally happened. It finally happened. I was driving down a street called Jefferson in Nashville, and I was approaching a stoplight, and there was a guy crossing the street. So I stopped to let him go by, and I waved him on. And then there was something about him that looked familiar, and I kept looking, and then it hit me. I was like, oh, and I grabbed my phone, and I tried to get some photos. And the reason I did all that was because this man was walking across the street, this man that I don't know, and he was wearing a hero hoodie. Ah, man, it was great. It was a great moment, full circle moment. He appeared to be unhoused, and honestly, I was so caught up in the moment, I didn't stop to ask him if he needed anything, but I was just really taken by that moment. It's the first time that's happened outside of me actually doing hero hoodie drops. Like when I do the drops, sometimes people put them right on, but just seeing it out in the world like that, that was the first time that it happened. And I'm grateful to see that it landed with someone who needed it. So really great moment. I will post pictures soon, or maybe I'll just show the pictures here, but I'm also going to post them on social media. So look out for that. But just to know that it worked. It worked. At least once it worked. So I'm grateful. Okay, so my collar will not stay in. I don't know what's happening with the collar. All right, we're just gonna button this a little bit. Okay, so reminder, if you only spend, you'll what? Stay poor. If you only save, you'll stay middle class. You must invest to change your financial circumstances. It's not optional. Okay, so that said, that's all the talk about abundance we're going to do today, because it's day 365 and I got to tell some fun stories. So there's so many now. There's so many. Just this morning, somebody on TikTok was saying, huh, you ran in the rain. It never occurred to me that you've run in all kinds of weather by now. Yeah, I've run in all kinds of weather. This came up in my interview with Harriet for Kahila also. I've run in all kinds of weather. During my 365 days of running, I've only run indoors 3 times. 3 times. So all the rest of the days were outside. And I generally run at a specific time. And so it was whatever weather was happening at that specific time. So if it was a torrential downpour in the morning, I didn't wait until the afternoon to avoid it. I went running in the torrential downpour. And I guess that's the first lesson. The purpose of me doing it that way was to build into my system that I can't control what happens out there. I can only control what happens in here. And if I let myself be subject to the whims of the world, then I will keep stopping. I will keep stopping my own progress with running or with whatever else. I've got to just push through no matter what. So if it's raining, that's what it is. If it's a torrential downpour, that's what it is. I've got to keep showing up for myself despite what's happening out there. And that's a muscle that I'm building in running so that it can trickle over to the other aspects of my life. I share on that. I share on that. So here's another quick lesson and then a story. So the other quick lesson is, actually, it overlaps what I just said. But one of the main things that I've realized because of my run is feeling like it is optional. Feeling like it is optional. And I could just say, speaking for myself, I never thought of it that way before. If I didn't feel like doing something, I didn't do it. Right? Every once in a while, every blue moon, I push myself through. But I didn't feel like it. I'd be like, all right, well, I'll do it later. I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it Monday. You know? But in terms of my run streak, there's only been like 5 days that I felt like it. The first day, my birthday, day 50, day 100, and presumably day 365 earlier today. I'm already excited about that now. The rest of the days, I just had to decide and push through. I didn't necessarily feel like it. Most of the time, I did not feel like it. So feeling like it is optional. You just got to push through. So let's put those two together. Don't let outside circumstances determine your progress. And feeling like doing it is optional. Now, story time. I've told this story before, but I want to tell it again because it helps me remember how far I've come. So before I started the run streak, I joined Black Men Run. And I don't know if there's a formal process, but if there was one, I didn't follow it. I just showed up one day. I saw where they were going to be on Facebook, and I just showed up. And I remember that first day, one of the other runners whom I know now, but I didn't then, he asked me what my pace was. I was like, pace, huh? I don't even know what that means. But I felt like I had been running in the neighborhood, so I felt like I could handle it. Whatever it was, he was asking me. I don't know, but I'm fast. I just felt like, that's not exactly what I said, but my attitude was like, I got this, right? And so we started running. I think it was a group of about 6 of us that day, maybe 7. We start running. We're all trotting along together. And I was like, yeah, I got this. Mind you, I remember this vividly. It was cold that morning. And so I came out the car all layered up. I had a big oversized fleece on. I had big oversized sweats on. I was layered up. They're out there standing there in shorts and t-shirts, which I understand now, but I didn't then. They must have been looking at me like, what is this dude doing with all these clothes on? So in case you don't know, it's too many clothes because you're going to get hot. You're going to get hot. I was used to running short distances, max of a mile, and I was still dressing for the outside temperature. After you've been running for a while, you dress for your body temperature, not the outside temperature. Ooh, there's something there too. Don't worry about what's happening out there. You worry about what's happening in here. That's good. All right. So anyway, I wasn't there yet. And so that was the first challenge. So we start trotting along together. Everybody else has lightweight stuff on. I've got all this heavy gear on. I look like I'm going shopping or something, not running. Anyway, we trot along for the first couple blocks, and we make a right turn onto West End, which is like Broadway. It's like downtown, the main street downtown. And we made that turn, and then I swear to you, they all just like, they just all just accelerated and vanished. And it was a 5-mile loop. And that's when I was running a max of a mile. I was like, 5 miles. And so I swear to you, this is what I did. I started running on the sidewalk, right? First of all, you don't really want to run on the sidewalk. There's too many dips and variations in the texture of the road. The street is more reliable. So I know that now. I didn't know that then. But also the reason I was running on the sidewalk was so I could hide. So I could hide, because one of the guy who asked me what my pace was, he was hanging back to keep an eye on me, but he wasn't running like shoulder to shoulder with me. He was just running a little bit slower than usual so he could keep an eye on me, right? I started running on the sidewalk, and every time a vehicle separated us in terms of line of sight, I would just lean over, try to catch my breath, hold on. And then I would look up and I would wait until I could see him through the windshield of the car I was hiding behind. And when I could see him, then I'd come lumbering out. I come on out and run to the next car. As soon as I get to the next car, okay. And I would look through the windows of the car to see when he would pop out again. And as soon as he would pop out again, here I would come. I did that all the way down Broadway. I wasn't playing. I was tired. And then as soon as he made a turn, like he turned off on the street to follow the group, I sat down on the steps of a bank and I was like, I don't know if I could do it. I don't think I can make it. And I did not finish the route. Oh, there's my alarm telling me to wrap it up. So I did not finish the route. I sat there on the steps of that bank, catching my breath, and then I jogged back to the start line. And that was a little bit easier for me because I knew exactly what the distance was. It was pretty much a straight shot back. And I just took my time. I slowed down to what I would now call an emergency pace. And I just kept moving. And these guys were so fast that by the time I got to the start line, all of them were at the finish line. So they were at the same place, but they had finished the whole loop, except, of course, for the guy who was waiting for me, because he was still back there. He was still back there looking for me, and I had tapped out. I did send him a message, but he didn't get it because he was running, obviously. But yeah, that's a funny story. And the reason I tell that story is because all those guys who I was running with that day are now familiar to me. They're familiar faces. They're familiar to me. I'm familiar to them. And I have progressed so much. Like how do I say that? I just hosted the Black Men Run on Saturday here recently, meaning that I was the person who coordinated it and, well, not coordinated, like I didn't set it up, but I was the person who was in charge, I guess, right? And I was the person who stayed with the slowest person. And because of my experience hiding behind cars, I knew to stay with that person shoulder to shoulder. Like, we're gonna stay shoulder to shoulder, you stop, I stop. And I was able to do that. So to go from hiding behind cars in the very beginning and wanting to quit to being able to run the whole show and help other people along later feels very full circle to me. So what's the lesson? Just don't quit. It's right there, right? Because I was definitely embarrassed that first day. I felt pretty bad about hiding behind those cars. I felt pretty bad about sitting on the steps of the bank. I felt pretty bad about going back to the start line. I felt really bad about the fact that they were already there. How they gonna be already there? Like, I turned around and came back and they're already at the finish line. I didn't feel great about it, but I didn't quit. I came back the next time despite my embarrassment. And I came again, and I came again, and I came again, and I came again. And I just worked my way up. So the secondary lesson after just don't quit is, more important, don't be afraid to look foolish failing. Because I looked foolish, but I kept at it. And sometimes, oftentimes, looking foolish is what keeps us from trying again. Don't worry about that. Just keep trying. If you don't quit, you are guaranteed to get better. Guaranteed. Just keep at it. Just the compounding benefits of keeping at it means that you will get better bit by bit by bit. You'll get better. I went from my first race at all, a 5K, to a half marathon in less than a year. That's incredible to me. I don't know if it's incredible to you, but it's incredible to me, right? So just don't quit. Just don't quit. One of the many lessons I've learned from running every day, at least a mile a day, for now, as of today, 365 days in a row. Fireworks on that. And I'm going to go ahead and close out. Send me love in Sun Valley, Idaho, and check me out on social media. And tomorrow I will launch the June mission, June 2022. Yeah, the mission for June. Yeah, so stay tuned. In the meantime, keep doing. Be a hero. Be your own financial hero. And remember that now is better than perfect in terms of investing and in terms of everything, in terms of life. I'll see you here tomorrow. Later.